In this video, we're going to deep dive the Shift Boot surround console. We're going to do several comparisons. We're going to compare original Shift Boots to aftermarket related Shift Boots. And I had sent out a reel polling the viewers, hey, what would you do here? Would you use this one or would you use that one? We're going to discuss the results of that poll. We're also going to restore each little piece and get everything put back together. Shifter surround console. Got to take it apart, get it cleaned up. This little piece comes off. So there's a nut on the back side holding that in. And then the shifter boot's going to come off by removing this surround here and the speed nuts that are holding it on. So this is the original from the 76. And as you can see, there's actually one stud missing here. So I'll have to fix that or get a replacement. It occurred to me while removing these speed nuts that maybe I should have a word to say about how to do it without breaking your plastic posts here. What you do is you get it in a position where you can pinch it. So maybe right there. And I'm going to pinch this, which will deform the speed nut. Squeeze it together. And up it comes. That is how you remove a speed nut without damaging your posts. You know, these posts are plastic. I can't exactly get a new one of these. Well, I can, but people are like real proud of them. There's an aftermarket one out there too, but I like to use my original if possible. So I'm being careful. And again, I've got it in a position where I can squeeze it. Squeeze. Deform, straight up and out. Okay. Okay, so the factory retainer, shift boot retainer is in good shape. The factory shift boot is not in good shape. I'll get a new one made. There's a pattern. Make it just like that. Chrome trim comes out. I do have a new one of these, a reproduction. So taking a look at the center console bezel, this chrome one here, this is plastic of course, this chrome one here is original off the 76. It's got two broken posts, so I'm probably not going to use it. The one off the 74 is not original. I replaced it with a new one from Mazda, so this is a Mazda bezel, but notice they started making it black with a chrome, paint around the edge rather than the original. It was totally chromed plastic. Now this one was bought probably late 80s, early 90s, so by then that's what they were doing. I sent the two bezels to Australia, where Dave at Restore Moz works his magic to re-chrome plastic, including the bezel that had been black with a painted silver strip. These are the two shift boot bezels. The one on the left here came on the car. The one on the right was a new one I picked up from Mazda. It was genuine Mazda parts, but they clearly had a different manufacturer by the time this one came along. Yeah, the one that came on the car was chrome all the way around. The one that I picked up at a Mazda much later was black with just a chrome stripe around it. So Dave went ahead and fixed these both up, and they both look beautiful. Here's a shift boot comparison between the original 1976 boot, which is the one on the right here, and another boot obtained from Mazda, but years after the car. The 74 boot I had replaced. It's made with quite a bit less of a quality, and it has just one seam rather than the original The original has 1, 2, 3, there's 4 pieces put together. So it's quite a bit more intricate. Shift boots. The only thing I could find online was a rubber shift boot. Wrong answer. Not original. I'd like to keep it as close to original as I can. And this is pleather. So what I've done is I've gone to a fabric store. You want to avoid the upholstery shops. They're real proud of their fabric and their craftsmanship. They wanted a whole lot of money to do this job for me. And let me tell you what I did. I went to a fabric store. I got a soft pleather here, which is very much like what came out of the car. And I also, while I was there, found a marine grade pleather. It's thicker, you know, more durable. And I went ahead and got both. I wanted to see how they turned out. And instead of going to an upholstery shop to have them assembled, I went to a tailor, the same place I go to have clothes altered. And they did a really good job. And I've got enough fabric here that I'm probably going to have a bunch made so that I can share these with you guys because they did a great job. It was reasonably priced, and something that's close to OEM is hard to find. The original boot had a white stitch, and I don't think that's consistent with the early RX3s, but that's what came out of my 76. So that's what I had made. Let's get a look at the center console. It's clean and ready to do some sort of restoring, and I'm seeing there's lots of scuffing and scratches. Might have to sand some of that down. See what we got. This side's clean as a whistle. So I was hoping to just black wow this puppy, but not sure how those scratches will take it up. I do have 2 of these. Let's get a look at the one out of the 76 here. This is the one that came with the car. Now, taking this piece of chrome trim, you know, it's plastic, off of the 74 was really easy. It just kind of pried out of this channel. On the 76, it looks like they've gone to the rear here and melted a little bit of the plastic over so that there's like a melted nubbin holding it in so that it doesn't pop out. Perhaps popping out was an issue back then in the early few years. So that's going to make this tough to get out. So what they've done with the piece of trim is right here they've squashed it down to, you know, to overhang on top of the plastic. You have to break the trim piece to get it out. Now I'm sourcing replacement trim for the shift surround console. This thing has a little bit of chrome strip that goes around the perimeter of where the shift boot goes. And you know, as you can see, it's broken and it fits in this little groove here. What I can get is black, and I can get gray. So, question, which one to use? This is Duplicolor Grease and Wax Remover. I use that prior to painting surfaces. Same stuff I've been using all along, BHT vinyl dye. I am experimenting with the different paint recommendations you guys have mentioned over the years. These end caps I hit with SEM Color Coat. This other console from Hazel, I was able to pull the scratches out with sandpaper. I think I'm going to black wow this one. Let's take a look at this black rubber console trim versus the gray rubber console trim. These came from Phil's Rotary, fairly inexpensive. Let's have a look. There's a black trimmed console, blends right in, You don't actually see it.
Transformation through contrast. Polarity.
The gray stands out. It's got some definitive contrast. So for those of you that everything's got to be perfect, with the gray one, it's easier to spot when it's flexing out of the center. And because it's flexible, it just kind of moves around where it wants to go. So for the black trim, you don't even notice that because everything blends in. It's all black. Gray trim, a little flex in the rubber or whatever material that is, kind of sticks out. It's noticeable. I had made a reel about, hey, which of these trims do you guys like better, the black or the gray? And I had bought these black and the gray. They're like rubber or some kind of flexible thing. I bought those when I had like a Phil's Rotary shopping binge going on. Thank you to everyone who watched that and then had some feedback. Much appreciated. It was kind of 50-50 between you guys liking the gray versus the black. And I had forgotten that like Pack Performance sells the chrome billet surround. So once I released that reel, you guys reminded me about that. Not only Pack Performance, but Custom Cuts. So Custom Cuts reached out to me and said, hey, we've got the chrome billet surrounds, and that would be better than their black or the gray, and I agree. But the problem was the end cap here. Because you guys in Down Under, you've got that whole console that goes all the way back to the emergency brake. We don't have that in the United States. We've got this little end cap. So I hadn't pulled this piece off yet, and so Custom Cuts said, well, we'll make you that piece. So now I've got one, and I got the matching surround billet. And I'm going to pull this off, see how the new pieces fit. Very happy with how they look and feel. And I think we're going to be a happy camper here real soon. So we'll get that little project underway, and we won't be using either of the Phil's Rotary choices.
Transform.
Okay, there's that. Give the end cap the same treatment that the shift boot surround got, starting with the grease and wax remover.
Transform.
Alright, let's put the Custom Cuts chrome billet trim in. Perfect fit. Gotta say, it did snap in nicely. Let's get my fat fingerprints off there. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, that is beautiful. And now for the chrome billet trim to go into the shift boot surround console. Let's see, I'm just going to start up top here. Maybe. It's not exactly staying. Just want to line that little ridge up with the track. like it. I like it a lot. Maybe a little bit more squeezy squeeze right here. There we go.
Polarity.
Looking good. The fat fingerprints off.
Transform.
It's great. I'm gonna have to go ahead and say I like it.
Polarity.
Let's get that in the car. Okay, I've got the new shift boot here. It's gonna need holes. So for that, I've got the old shift boot. Just gonna do the simple thing of marking it. Oh, first of all, I'm crooked. No likey. Okay, marking it. Then I'll use a punch and a poker type of a thing. I'm not super thrilled with my method here. Let's try this. I'm still working on these front holes. Alright, so let's line up them back holes so that I have a continuity going on. That guy, there's that guy, that guy. Okay, those are lined. There's those two. There's that one. So what we're shooting for now is this guy and this guy. These two. Getting down to where all of these holes are great except these last two, and we can fix that by making two new ones. So for here, we need one here. And then this last one will go right there. It's close to the edge. Close to the edge, down by the river. Sorry. Promise not to sing again. Okay, with that buttoned up and ready to go, I can move on to other things. It's not going to go in the car just yet because I want to get insulation and carpet in before this goes in. So, there we are for now, and it's beautiful.
I'm an individual.